ENDS is positioning itself as the next great GTA-like, but a brand new reveal about its map is so unexpected it might just redefine the entire game. We just learned that the dense urban streets of London won't be the only place we'll be exploring. The developers have confirmed a massive explorable mountain range, and this single decision completely shatters our expectations. It is not merely a new biome, it is a confirmation of a new direction of traveling, a new manner of telling a story, a strategic shift capable of possibly giving an indie competitor an opportunity to be out of the shadow of Grand Theft Auto. It is not a new map alone, but it validates a new philosophy of the whole genre of GTA-like. So here's the core intel from the latest developer blog. Concrete Realm Games has confirmed that ENDS will feature a massive playable region outside the M25 ring road of London. First, this new zone is a stark contrast to the urban sprawl. Think less EastEnders, more Red Dead Redemption. They're heavily implying this is a region inspired by the Welsh Valleys or even the Scottish Highlands, a rugged, untamed wilderness. Second, this isn't just a backdrop. The devs specifically use the phrase, a range of mountains to climb, which confirms a level of verticality and exploration we simply weren't expecting. Third, and most critically, this new region is fully integrated into the game's core systems. It's accessible via the game's train network, which we previously assumed was just an in-city fast travel system, and will serve as a location for secluded operations, hideouts, and high-stakes escapes, directly contrasting with the street-level crime of the city. Now, we have to break down what this actually means, because on the surface, this sounds insane. A London-based crime game with mountains. London is known indisputably to be flat. This is the only crucial information we have received about ENDS, since this disclosure shows that the game is not a GTA London clone, it's something else entirely. And in order to know why this is such a BFD, we need to refer to the boneyard of games that have attempted to adopt GTA and have failed. One of the graveyards is the GTA-like genre. It is strewn with the bodies of high games. We just saw the most profile implosion in years with MindsEye. That game had everything going for it. It was led by Leslie Benzies, the former Rockstar North president. It had the pedigree, it had the hype, and it was one of the worst reviewed, most catastrophic launches of 2025. Why? Because it tried to replicate GTA's formula instead of understanding it. MindsEye was a technical showcase with no soul. It wasn't just the bugs, though the bugs were legendary. It was the emptiness. It was a world with no purpose, a sandbox with no sand. It tried to be a GTA Online competitor before it had even built a compelling single-player world. That is the moral. There is nothing like pedigree. The name Leslie Benzies was a selling feature, yet it could do little to rescue a game which essentially did not have any purpose to be. Prior to it, there was the GTA reboot, which had entirely misjudgment in its perception of its own fanbase and succeeded in appealing to no one. It was not wacky enough to be enjoyed by old fans and not grounded enough to be enjoyed by new ones. The industry is completely vicious. When you attack the king, you may not miss, and everyone misses. This is the gauntlet ENDS has to run, but its first hurdle isn't even GTA, it's Watch Dogs Legion. That game already did London, and it was fine. It was a 5-year-old game that, on a technical level, was a masterpiece of world building. A 1-to-1 scale London with functioning public transport? Incredible. But what was the game? It was a shallow, repetitive loop built on a play-as-anyone system that sounded amazing on paper, but resulted in zero character. When everyone is the protagonist, no one is. Legion turned its citizens into collectibles. You weren't recruiting a character, you were recruiting a perk. Oh, this one has a fast car. Oh, this one can hack drones. It was a spreadsheet, not a story. The story was forgettable because it was told by randomly generated puppets. This is the specific ghost ENDS has to exercise, and its solution, based on the Steam page, is a laser focus on a specific story, a coming-of-age story that delves into the complexities of brotherhood, family, and loyalty. This isn't a generic Save London plot. It's personal, it's intimate, it's the exact opposite of Legion's weakness. They are betting that players would rather have one character they care about than 1,000 they can delete. They are directly addressing the no heart problem by making their game all heart. And this is where the mountain range comes in. This isn't just a map expansion, it's a thematic masterstroke. This is the single smartest decision they could have made. London, especially in a game about crime and contrasting social classes, represents claustrophobia. It's the surveillance state from Watch Dogs. It's the council estates, the tower blocks, the constant pressure of living on top of each other, the CCTV on every corner. It's the challenges and choices of urban life. The mountains? That's the antithesis. It's freedom. It's isolation. It's a place where the rules of the city don't apply. It is quite literally a way to get above it all. This is a level of environmental storytelling that is incredibly sophisticated. It's a visual metaphor for the class divide. The urban poor are trapped in the concrete jungle, while this new wilderness offers a different, perhaps more dangerous, kind of freedom. It's a hideout, an escape route. It's a place to lie low. This fundamentally changes the narrative potential. Think about the narrative beats. A betrayal in the city forces the Brotherhood to flee to the mountains. The entire second act of the game could be a survival story, regrouping and planning their return. This allows for massive character development. The choice-based mechanics mentioned on the Steam page suddenly have real weight. Does your brother get captured in the city? Do you go back for him? Or do you stick to the plan and rendezvous in the wilderness? These are choices with geographical consequences, not just a dialogue wheel. This could be the UK Red Dead 2, where the city is Saint-Denis and the mountains are, well, the rest of the map. But let's be real. This is a terrifying gamble from a gameplay perspective. An indie studio, Concrete Realm Games, is essentially building two different games. Game 1 is the London street crime sim. We know the pillars for that: melee combat, bicycles, mopeds, and trains. The melee focus is brilliant. It leans into the setting, UK gun laws, and automatically differentiates it from GTA's firearm-centric gameplay. It'll be all about timing, environment, and brawling. It's Def Jam Fight for NY meets Gangs of London. It's grounded, it's gritty, but Game 2. Game 2 is the wilderness exploration game. How does that play? Your moped is useless on a mountain. The combat is no longer an alley brawl. Is it survival? Stealth? Is it just hiking? The climbing mechanic is a huge question mark. Is this an Assassin's Creed style climb anything system? Highly unlikely given the indie budget. Is it a scripted, Uncharted style climb at set points? More likely, but that still requires a completely different animation and traversal system than what's needed for the city. And the train. The train is the linchpin. It's the portal between these two worlds. It has to feel seamless. This is where Ends could face the same fate as MindsEye. Scope creep is what kills ambitious games. MindsEye promised a whole new world, a metaverse, and delivered a buggy, empty sandbox. Ends is promising two distinct, highly detailed worlds. If that mountain range is just a big, procedurally generated, empty map with nothing to do, it will kill the pacing and expose the indie budget. The 2026 beta is no longer a test, it's a trial. It has to prove that both of these worlds are polished and, more importantly, fun. This decision has completely reframed the conversation. Ends is no longer just the London GTA. It is a mind-blowing combination of a global city crime narrative and a survival in the wild game. It is a gigantic, brash swing that might just bring the grown-up, narrative-focused GTA-like we have been waiting to get. Or it is a classic example of an indie developer's ambition scribbling the final game check that the game can no longer write. Here's the true argument. Will such divided attention result in Ends being a potential masterpiece, a game that brings the unparalleled variety and thematic depth? Or is it some fatal mistake, a waste of funds, which will leave us with two half-finished, half-developed games as one fine, concentrated game?